Okay, so here we are. We're with Rob Steger today from America, Denver, Colorado. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and he joins us in Chamonix after having run the CCC. So, how was it?
It was good. It was a beautiful beginning of the race.
Yeah.
And
dry.
yeah. Once the rain came down, it got a little bit muddy, but one of the more beautiful courses I've ever run.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get to see much at night, obviously, and it got foggy and kind of rainy, but
yeah,
amazing experience.
Excellent. And what made you pick CCC? Was it the race, or was it the location, or why'd you come over for this?
I mean, ever since I started running, I've been a fan of a bunch of Billy Yang YouTube videos, and honestly, seeing one of his on CCC and having spoken with Zach Miller a few times, like I was well aware that this is the place to be. This is one of the biggest races in the world, and I mean, I just thought it was really cool that someone from middle of the pack could come over here and have that same experience on the trail as some of the best runners in the world.
Yeah, and did it live up to your expectations then, the whole hype about UTMB and everything that it delivers during the week of racing?
I think so, yes. The community here and the whole energy of the community here and the love of running is it's amazing to see so many different cultures and communities from around the world meeting in one place and all having this super strong common bond.
Yeah.
Like that was amazing. I knew about that, but to experience it firsthand is once in a lifetime experience, hopefully more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. The trail itself, It lived up to its expectations. There was a reroute at the end of CCC that, man, we hit some really difficult sections, and some of the mud, like going into this race, I knew some of the trails were more runnable than some of the other races I've done, and so mentally having to cope with that. The fact that it's muddy on downhill and people are sliding, falling on their butts left and right.
It's like
that
a
wasn't
domino effect.
expected.
Yeah.
That wasn't expected at all. But
did you take any tumbles? Did you stay on your feet?
I took one fall, and it wasn't raining. It was beautiful, and I was trying to pass. And the trail, if you go 2 inches off the trail, it's like a foot drop. Mm-hmm. And I'm used to people actually in the States, a lot of times they'll move over to the side and let you pass.
Yeah.
If you just say pass on the left.
Yeah.
And here, a lot of times they don't.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty competitive race, so everyone's trying to go as fast as they can and cut in front and whatnot.
Even if you're middle of the pack, everyone's racing for
in the
their
middle
spot.
of the pack.
Yeah.
I saw that. So I was trying to pass on the left, and I took, literally I was 1 inch off, kind of basically face planted, but I caught myself with my hands and my poles were folded up and took the blow, and my wrist didn't hurt at all. So I got lucky.
Yeah.
If anything, it woke me up for the climb, the second big climb, and I needed that actually.
Good. So how long were you out there for? What was your time on the race?
I was out there for 19 hours and 55 minutes, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe 56 minutes.
Yeah.
Not much time to spare on my sub 20-hour goal.
Yeah. But you hit your goals, so that's fantastic.
Yeah. Just middle of the pack, so I wanted to have fun, but this was my A race. And I've been training all year for it and holding back at races so that I could come here healthy.
Yeah.
And I felt 100% at the start line, which I've never felt before.
That's a good feeling. Yeah.
And I just wanted a top 500.
Yeah.
Which is weird to even say. And sub 20 was kind of my last minute, I think that's doable. So happy to have accomplished both of those and not injured myself as always.
Yeah, well, you're walking fine, so yeah, you're recovering well.
Yeah, had to run for the bus to get over here. That was actually very difficult, 100 feet.
100 feet, sprint. Oh dear. And how was it running through the night as well? Have you done much night running before?
Yeah, not a problem at all. If anything, it actually probably helped me because a lot of the climbs, I had I want to say 3 big climbs remaining in the dark.
Yeah.
And I just had a headlamp that was spot 3 feet in front of me because of the incline. Normally it's 10 feet in front of me, but because of the vertical. And I think I learned how to do vert this race. And it's don't look up at the big picture of how much feet you have to climb, or meters here.
Yeah.
Just look 3 feet in front of you.
Yep.
And I turned on a good song and just put one foot in front of the other. I mean, I think Dean Karnassus says that all the time. Just literally turn your brain off, think about something else, and just climb the 3 feet in front of you and just keep repeating.
And then the next 3 feet. Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't overwhelming. So
I find I sometimes do that. I wear a visor, even if it's not sunny or whatever, just wear a visor because it just kind of blocks your vision up the hill. And you're not seeing, like you said, the big picture.
Yeah.
It's just a small bit of a slope for now.
Ignorance was bliss for those dark sections. I mean, the first dark climb, it was raining, so a lot of my footsteps were actually kind of sliding back a little bit, and I was like, ooh, for the next, 3,000 feet that we have to climb, this could get ugly trying to climb in mud.
That could really slow you down if that was
luckily it was only the first half of the big climb, and once I got up to the top I was like, okay, that wasn't so bad. And it was 20,000 feet, 6,100 meters of gain.
Yeah, that's chunky.
For only 101K.
Yeah,
it's squeezing a lot of vert in, and I love it.
Yeah,
it's a cool challenge. Yeah,
it is a challenge. And how'd you go with nutrition? What do you think of the French checkpoints? Sounds like this is your first French race, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved the aid stations. The atmosphere.
Yeah.
It was like walking into a party every time. I was interested because it's like the European running community spends more time at aid stations, and they might not carry as much nutrition on them. And it seems to be part of their the norm and strategy there. And in the States, you carry a lot of your nutrition on you.
Yeah.
So I would do climbs and look around, and no one's eating, no one's drinking. I'm like, guys, this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
And so I was in and out of aid stations much faster. So I probably, the competitive side of me was like, okay, I'm picking up 50 spots in aid station.
Yeah.
I started off, I think, in about 1,000th place. So.
And you got your top 500. So picking them off left, right, and center.
The food itself, I always go with Hammer Nutrition, sponsored by them. But I was doing a gel roughly every hour, and watermelon at every aid station that had it, which was unexpected and awesome. And the soup was we could order soup right now, and I'd be like, okay, I'll go with that. That was good.
Yeah.
And I haven't left aid stations with so much vigor and energy level. It was like I had a cup of coffee. I didn't have much caffeine, but I felt like an energy surge after every aid station through the night. And it was like, eat, go climb, come down, repeat. Literally. And I think I had a good race. I think it went as well as I could have hoped. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I know. It's almost like, should I have pushed myself harder? I couldn't have gone faster for the first 15 miles because, logistically, there's a train of 800 some runners hiking, with poles in front of me.
Yeah, you can't get around them, so...
Yeah, I couldn't really get in a rhythm with that. But the whole time I was just super positive and saying, like, okay, well, it's not meant to be. Like, let's just use this as a conservative way to start and hold back a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, so that might have helped with how you feel as well, because you conserved at the start that you're able to push on in the back half as well, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a great way to finish.
Yeah.
Although, I know I'm jumping all over the place with the chronology of the race, but we were dropping down after the last big climb. So, like, there was, like, a false front almost.
Yeah.
And then there was a final, like, push of probably 1,500 feet that I wasn't expecting, because I was looking at my watch and we only had 4 miles to go.
Yeah.
So I'm like, the course can only drop down into the finish. Like, you don't have time to go up. Nope, we went up. We went up to the top of the ski lift.
Oh, no.
And so I'm up at the top of the ski lift, and I blew through the aid station. Thankfully I did, because I passed about 20 people, and if I hadn't done that, I would not have accomplished my goal with that.
Yeah.
I was like, well, so we have 3 miles, and I know we're at the top of a ski lift, which means the descents are going to be super steep. And I'm counting down the miles, I keep trying to push to do the sub 20, and I come up and I'm about 1.5 miles away from the finish line, and there's a woman there that I think worked for the race, and she's like, only 5K to go. And I was like,
huh?
Wait.
Where'd that come from?
Like, I think I was pretty kind, given, like, the mental break that happened there. But to know, like, okay, so the course is going to be 1.5 miles longer than I thought. And this descent is not going smooth, because it was treacherous. Like, I tried to pick up my pace.
Yeah.
And clipped a rock, like, within 3 minutes. So I was like, okay, slow down, you don't want to hurt yourself. Just get in. But then I looked at my watch, and I had 19 minutes to go before the 20-hour mark. And I had about 1.5 miles, I thought, if that woman was correct.
Yeah.
So I was like, and I knew, having watched OCC, that there were these stair climbs over these little
2
bridges,
roads.
over roads to factor in. So I was like, okay, so it's now or never. This is my A race. Let's do it. And I don't know how I was able to just kick it up a gear, but I mean, factoring in even those 2 bridges, I think I did about 11-minute mile, and then the final one was about an 8:30 into the finish.
Yeah.
So
adrenaline kicking in. Can smell the finish line.
It was just one of those, I don't want to come in 20 hours and 1 minute and the rest of my life be like, I wonder if I had actually pushed. So I pushed, and I'm thankful I did.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, fantastic result.
Thank you.
And considering you haven't been out here training, you don't know the trails, like, yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. And would you come out again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The big question is UTMB, now that I have enough points to put in for the lottery.
Are you going to enter the lottery?
Yeah, that is actually kind of the big question, and a lot of it will revolve around, planning it out with my family and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But then also, I don't want to expect to get in the lottery the first time, so it's more a long-term plan too.
Yeah.
So if I don't get in next year, so I'm almost planning for the following year or third year.
Yeah. Well, you could always bring the family out too. Good spot for a family holiday. And
absolutely. Yeah, Chamonix is amazing.
Yeah. And you mentioned about Dean Karnazes as well, and I remember reading something about you that you bought his book, and that was kind of your, intro into ultra running. But it's funny that I read that about you, because he was my first book that I read about ultra running as well. And so what inspires you about what was in his book, and how did that get you into ultra running?
I don't know. It was one of those, I like challenges, and I can If I really, really want something, a lot of times